So Maitreya is briefing Vidura on the matter of creation, how this material world was created by Vishnu and later on empowered Brahma to carry out the secondary creation. In this chapter we saw that the first 6 steps are created by the natural energies of the Lord, by the influence of Kala, and then later on the next levels of creation was taken over by Brahma. So even this material world, it is completely not created by Brahma. Initial steps were all created by the Supreme Lord, by the agency of Kala, and then he created of the 9 creations. He created up to 5th creation, 6th creation. The 6th creation is ignorant darkness of the living entity by which the master acts a fool. So, the first 6 creations, which included creation of senses, sense perceptions, creation of material knowledge, working capacity, ahankara, material activities, all these are actually ingredients. And also the very first one, which is a creation of Mahatattva, the ingredients, material ingredients, earth, water, fire, air, ether, all those things. And then further divisions, etc., up to 5th creation. And then later on, 6th creation onwards, Brahma took over, creating, from 7th onwards, Brahma took over, creating immovable living entities, then movable living entities, then demigods, like that, various things. And this chapter is concluding with creation of asuras and demons and gandharvas and apsaras, all these people. Of course, this is further elaborated how in what detail he went about doing this in the later chapters. Creation of Kumaras and others, and how step by step it is. He just summarized here. Basically, this is the understanding that about this material world, creation of this material world, that we hear from the authoritative sources of the Vedas. Nobody by his own senses can have even a glimpse of the understanding of how why this material world exists in a particular way. Different living entities are there, human beings are there, 84 lakh species of life is there, and then Kala is there, time, which is acting upon all the living entities, taking the living entities from birth to death, moving their body from birth to old age to disease to old age and finally to death. So what are all these forces that are acting upon us? Actually, nobody in this material world has any explanation for any of these things, because they cannot have an explanation. Can the scientists explain? Just like they try to explain the stone, when you drop, it falls due to gravitation. They make a formula, gravitation formula, and they say, oh, we have understand the gravitational force. But can they understand the force of Kala? It also has a definite direction. Just like gravitation law cannot be violated. If you drop a stone, it has to fall. In the same way, if you take birth, you have to die. That motion from birth to death, have the scientists studied? They have not studied. They don't want to study, they cannot study also, because they do not know what it is. Even modern scientists who are studying space and time are completely bewildered with time. They say that time is always going in one direction. According to their mathematical equation, time can be minus, time can be zero, time can be positive. But they cannot understand why time is always positive, going in one direction. They cannot understand. In all their equations, in their equations, because equations are theoretical, mathematical models. In the mathematical models, time can go back also. But in nature, time doesn't go back. Time is always moving forward. They have no explanation, they cannot understand. But at least they theoretically they know that time can actually go back. So all these, next chapter is about calculation of time, interesting chapter, from the atom and all those things. To that fine degree, the transcendental knowledge is revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if somebody wants to research these things, then they should take guidance from Srimad Bhagavatam, from the sages who have revealed these truths. Of course, the goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is not to give the details of this creation, but it is only giving an overall sketch of how the Lord created, how the Lord created through Brahma, how Brahma meditated upon the Lord, performed penance, and then he got the Shakti to do the secondary creation, which is a devotion service that he was performing for the Lord. It is the Lord's plan that creation should happen, not Brahma's plan. Brahma is just a servant. And according to Lord's plan, Brahma creates. And Lord's plan is revealed in the scriptures that it is simply an opportunity. Why he has designed this material world is simply given opportunity for the living entities, which is one of the different kinds of Shaktis of the Lord, Jiva Shakti. So for Jiva Shaktis to freely enjoy to their capacity. How much capacity they have, let them enjoy. Under the laws of nature, material nature, the living entities are in the material world, spread everywhere, living their lives in 84 lakh species of life, with the basic common characteristic of independent existence, independent enjoyment, in forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord, in forgetfulness of the complete whole. They won't have separated enjoyment. With separated enjoyment, for that, the Lord has given an opportunity for the living entity to experience what he wants to do. And in the process, the Lord is seated in the heart of every living entity, and in the process, the Lord is observing when the living entity will get fed up, and the Lord is ready to direct the living entity towards Krishna-centered enjoyment. In the material world, everybody wants self-centered love, self-centered pleasure, self-centered power, self-centered knowledge. In the spiritual world, everybody is absorbed in Krishna-centered pleasure. Krishna-centered pleasure means you are not pleasure for you, Krishna, pleasure for Krishna. In the spiritual world, our business is to give pleasure to Krishna, and not that. But the entire spiritual world is full of ananda. If you are part of the spiritual world, then you also get ananda. But your force is, your action is to give ananda to the Lord. And automatically you also get ananda. In the material world, everybody is first taking care of his ananda, his power, his controlling tendency, everything. In the spiritual world, everyone is surrendered to Krishna, means all controlling tendency are with Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller, Param Ishvara. And his only goal, Krishna's only goal in the spiritual world is to give pleasure for the devotees, and devotees' only goal is to give pleasure to Krishna. So therefore there is only pleasure there. There is only pure love there. So existence consists of the Supreme Lord and His various energies. We jivas are one kind of energy. That one personality, Ishvaraha Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunanu Vidadati Kaman. One supreme eternal and many tiny eternals. This is the existence. And that multiple tiny entities, if they are in the material world, they are taken care of by the Lord for fulfilling their desires. If they are in the spiritual world, again they are taken care of by the Lord, who is directly trying to please His devotees. In the material world also, He does not leave the living entity. Everybody in this material world, the Lord's role. In the spiritual world, the Lord does not control the spiritual world. The devotees control the spiritual world. Radharani controls the spiritual world. Out of pure love. But in the material world, the Lord's Leela as Paramatma, as Mahavishnu, as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, as Shirodaksha Vishnu is that He is the Param Ishvara. He is controlling everything and He is sanctioning every living entity is dynamically, He is sanctioning their desires, seated in the heart, observing their papa and punya. The Lord sanctions their desires. And according to that, the material energy immediately, Kala is moving to fulfill the sanction of the Lord. If the sanction of the Lord is not there, then the Kala will not deliver what the living entities desires. So the characteristic of this material world is that every living entity is having independent desires. Krishna unconnected desires. That is the problem. So Krishna consciousness means Prabhupada is training us the Bhagavata Vidhi, the Bhagavata process of Bhagavan being in the center and engaging in service of the Lord. Devotional service. If you see the entire writings of Prabhupada, I think the most word used would be devotion service, devotion service, devotion service, devotion service. And Krishna, 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 Krishna. Because this is actually the essence, devotion service to Krishna. The Lord is so wonderful that He respects the living entity's free will. Whatever you want to do, you please do. We being part and parcel of Krishna, we have tiny independence. The entire total existence consists of us also. Krishna is not alone. If Krishna is there, Jiva is there. If Jiva is there, Krishna is there. If Krishna is there, material world is there. If material world is there, Krishna is there. The total system it is. Krishna and His energies, His existence. And Krishna relating with His energies, that is the existence. That is dynamics of existence is Krishna relating with His energies. With the material energy, with the spiritual energy, with the living entity energies. So Anandamayobhyasat. Krishna's capacity for enjoyment is unlimited. So He is eternally enjoying and is inviting all the living entities to participate in that transcendental enjoyment. But unfortunately, the living entities in the material world are not attracted to Krishna. Like Prabhupada explained in the conversation, the Mudas. Muda means foolish. So Krishna consciousness movement is meant for educating the people about this truth, about why existence is there, what is the reason for creation, why you are born. Everything from the total picture you understand, life after life, how you are transmigrating, how the Lord is staying with you, and how the Lord is observing you when you get fed up, because your nature is Ananda. So at some stage you get frustrated, this material world does not deliver you uninterrupted Ananda. The material world is always giving momentary happiness, and it's not pure momentary happiness, it is always accompanied by distress, sukha and dukkha. The living entity is natural because its constitution cannot change. The constitution of Atma cannot change, whether in the material world or in the spiritual world. It cannot change because that is constitution. And what is the constitution? It is Ananda. That is the constitution, cannot change. So when the living entity wants Ananda, it does not want this distress, but it is there. These things are revealed when different incarnations come, like Krishna came, explained Bhagavad Gita, Vyasadeva is narrating Bhagavatam, all the Vedic literatures, they reveal these secrets. Nobody else can understand, no human being can measure through the ascending process and understand why the creation, etc. Any amount of theory that they do will be incomplete. Therefore, in our system of Sanatana Dharma, we have a complete picture of total existence, complete picture. Maybe we cannot comprehend. According to our limited capacity, we cannot comprehend how Brahma creates various living entities out of his body, different parts of his body, which all you will see later on. Incomprehensible, materially speaking. In fact, it looks like myth. What is this? They are writing like this, from Brahma's mouth came so and so, from Brahma's ears came so and so, Brahma's eyes came so and so, Brahma's mind came so and so. First of all, what do we know? What is our yardstick of measurement? To say something sounds silly, something sounds naive. Our yardsticks itself is very limited to our sensual measurements. Especially we are grown in the modern scientific culture. Everything we want explanation according to our sensual measurements. We need to understand everything in that manner. But this understanding of the entire existence, our scientific instruments, our scientific logic is not sufficient. We cannot comprehend at all. We simply have to accept the truth as given by the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam, how the creation happens and what is the structure of this Brahmanda. Nobody can see the Brahmanda. Nobody can see the 14 planetary systems. What is this classification? How they have classified? If you ask modern scientists, they will say there is no planet, there is no life in even other planets. There is no life in other planets. Only here there is life. And our scriptures are revealing there is life in every planet. There is life in sun planet also. Somebody asked Prabhupada, how in sun you can have sun, they will get burned. No. Prabhupada says, yes, you have a fire body. Atma cannot be burnt. Suppose you have fire body, then why you will get burnt? Is it not? In fact, we don't even think in these lines. Even science fiction, imagination movies, they have not made with fiery bodies. They cannot even imagine, even to make movies. But fire bodies are there. And it's so nice, so logically, even according to modern science, you can understand that. Yes, if I have a body which is fiery body, let's say I have about 1000 degrees centigrade is the heat of my body. Then let us say the ambient temperature in the sun is 1000 degrees. So why can't there be life? Everybody is having a 1000 degrees body. Can have, no? So easy. So life is not impossible. Similarly, in the moon planet, in all planets, there is life. In short, we need the lesson that we have to learn, the fundamental lesson we have to learn, not the full details of this creation, who came out of whose mouth and all those things, because that is fact. For spiritual development, what we need to understand is that Lord is a creator, and Lord has empowered Brahma to create this material world. And this material world does not exist for any other purpose, anybody's purpose. It exists for Lord's purpose. And the Lord's purpose is revealed in the revealed in the scriptures, that His purpose is to give an opportunity for the living entities to enjoy independently. And that is not the only option for the living entity. The living entity is not destined once for all in this material world, under this birth, death, old age, disease kind of life. He has got an option to come to the spiritual world. The Lord is so kind that He gives an opportunity for the living entity to even go to Brahman. Oh, this is all dukkha, 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 neti, 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 neti. Then he wants to become formless, nameless, activityless, because every form, every name, every activity that he has experienced in this material world is always giving dukkha and temporary. Therefore he says neti, neti, and that is another category of opportunity given by the Lord. Okay, you want to go and be in the Brahman, Brahmajyoti, be there. But Prabhupada explains that again it's unstable, they will come back into this material world because Jiva's nature is to be active. So either the living entities can be in the material world, or they can be in the Brahmajyoti, or they can go back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, where the Lord is waiting to embrace the living entity, a life of pure love. There is no self-centeredness at all. So by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing, you'll see the common thread that will run through is the advice and instruction for the living entity to become less and less self-centered, become Krishna-centered. We can practice even life in this body, Krishna-centered. In fact, that is the truth. Krishna is in the center of this body. Krishna is the owner of our body. Krishna is the maintainer of our body. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means seeing the fact. Krishna is the owner of this body. That sense of I, that should go. I am the owner. The sense that this body is for me, that should go. Everywhere Krishna should be brought in. This requires purification of consciousness. This ahankara, false I and mind should go. For that to go is not easy. It is an energy, it's a material energy, Maya energy. To drive away this Maya energy, we have to take help of the internal energy of the Lord. We have to associate with Lord. And that is this chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So by associating with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the source of all transcendental energies, which is the source of all pure chit, this transcendental knowledge will kick out this ignorance in us, which is binding all of us into this life of miserable material life. So if you simply understand this, that I have to take the help of Krishna to come out of this material world. I have to take the help of Krishna in the different ways in which Krishna has planted help in this material world. Krishna has planted help in this material world in the form of incarnations, in the form of pure devotees, in the form of Vaishnavas, in the form of organization, Sankirtana movement of Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna movement of Srila Prabhupada, in different forms. These are all big secrets. So what are the most precious thing in this material existence? Material existence has so many things. Like for karmis, they say, oh, money is most precious, gold is most precious, so many precious things. But what is the most valuable thing in this material world? What are the most valuable things in the material world? Holy name. Vishnu deities, Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Sangha, Krishna Prasadam. These are all the very high value items. If you can value all these things and hold on to that, God. Srimad Bhagavatam, Shabda, Veda Shabda, Shabda Brahman. Material world, Shabda Brahman is there. Holy name is some and substance are all Shabda Brahman. So we should always think there are saving grace in the material world. I have to get attached to Shabda Brahman, I have to get attached to sadhus, I have to get attached to my spiritual master, I have to get attached to the deities. And this will shoot us out of this material world. On our own, simply thinking so many things and speculating and philosophizing alone is not possible. The jnanic path, strictly followed, it is possible, but it is very cumbersome process. Why that cumbersome process? All the jnana will be revealed to one who is already touching the Parabrahman. All these things that we see, I mentioned now, the deities, the holy name, the prasadam, the shastras, guru, sadhu, actually all of them are advaya jnana. Prabhupada explains, advaya jnana. They are all actually directly connected to Krishna, non-different from Krishna. Krishna's name is non-different from him. Krishna Prasadam is non-different from him. The Vaishnava's effect is non-different from him. Guru is non-different from him. Non-different means difference is there but not difference. In the material world you see separation, everything is separated. But in the spiritual world there is no separation of Krishna's energy and this. In the material world it's separated. That's why it is called separated energy. Material world, everything is separated by kala. The spiritual world, everything is advaya jnana, advaya, not two. At the same time, though it is not two, it is full of varieties. There is vishishta. Vishishta means there is variety. There is Lord, there is servant. At the same time, it's one substance, advaya jnana. But there is Lord and there is servant. And there is activities, there is devotional service. So this essence we need to understand when we hear all these leelas of Krishna's creation through Brahmas, and the principles of tapasya is enunciated. When you hear this entire chapter, you understand that Brahma got the power to create by tapasya, by austerity, performed austerities. So human life is actually Any devotion service means austerity is there. Because in the material world, our tendency is, as I said, self-centered thing. To reverse the engine from self-centered to Krishna-centered, there is austerity. If a fan is turning in one direction, you have to turn the other direction, means you have to have a counter force and work hard to stop the fan and turn it the other way. So entire principle of material existence, principle of spiritual liberation from material existence is tapasya, austerity. And Prabhupada has given us simple tapasya. He has given us very simple things that we can follow. In fact, it is not even tapasya. Susukham kartum avyayam. It is very happily performed. Chanting, dancing, taking Krishna prasadam. The whole point is, if you only do that, you are saved. But we do that and we do other things also. That is the problem. We chant, dance, take Krishna prasad. Along with that, we do things which are not told also. If you only do what they have been told, chant, dance, read, hear, very easily we will make advancement in spiritual life. Don't do what Prabhupada has not told. Don't do what Krishna has not told, which is good for spiritual life, which is not good for spiritual life. Simply do what is good for spiritual life, and that is itself is most potent. That means in this Kali Yuga, in real sense, you get liberation without tapasya. You can enjoy and get liberated. But that enjoyment should be Krishna-centered enjoyment, as Prabhupada has told. That is the only reason why we are all capable of, we are sitting here and hearing Bhagavatam, performing devotion service, because of this super discount that has been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga, where the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he has come and has given this path of very easy path. Even if you hear these chapters, how difficult for Brahma, who is doing supermost service of creation, how much austerity he has taken. And we are told we'll go back to God. This Brahma, after his creation, after his 100 years of creation, he'll go back to Godhead after doing all this. And here we are told by Prabhupada that in that Brahma's 100 years is so long, and our one lifetime, our 100 years is not like a split second. And Prabhupada says, in that split second you follow what I am doing, what I have asked you to do, you will go back to God. So just see, that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Goratishe Namaha. The most munificent incarnation the Lord is, most munificent. Next to impossible to get out of this material world. Very, very difficult to get out of this. To get liberation itself difficult. What to speak of going back to Krishna and all. So all this is very easily given to us by simply following the path. So we should be determined that we should try our maximum to understand what Prabhupada wants us to do, what he should not want us to do. He has given us a lifestyle. Adopt the lifestyle given by Srila Prabhupada. Become intelligent, spiritually intelligent, enlightened, and then finish this material life and develop love for Krishna. That is the goal that Prabhupada has given us. And we are constantly given energy and strength. We are not alone in this journey. The Guru is constantly, Divya Gyan Hire Prakashita. The Guru is continuously helping us. Shastra is helping us. And in this way, this journey is not alone. We need to understand. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadat. The Lord is actually giving us mercy. He will give us the mercy. With that faith, we should think that I am not alone. I hold on to the instructions of my spiritual master and take advantage of this great, rare time gap in Kali Yuga where I can wriggle out of this material world and experience Krishna Prema, go back to Krishna. Any questions? Muralidhar.
Hare Krishna. You say Krishna consciousness is war against Maya.
Krishna consciousness?
War against Maya.
Yeah.
But we see Maya is always having an upper hand. So the way things are going on today in this world, illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, gambling, reach the highest level. So it's always appearing that it's having an upper hand. How do you see this problem?
No, Krishna consciousness is a war against Maya, is a statement first applicable to devotees. Because we have declared war against Maya, means Maya is inside us first. It's a lifelong war. And then preaching Krishna consciousness is next level of Maya, next level of war against Maya. How to preach Krishna consciousness. So, if the preaching is, if you see not much impact in the outside world, which you are saying, we don't see, still the world is still going on like that, and we are saying we have declared war against Maya. Because we ourselves have not come out of Maya. So first stage itself we are not out. So we have to, it may take many, many years, chant Hare Krishna, follow everything nicely. That is why Prabhupada says, yes, for self-purification we engage in various activities which automatically preaching activities they are. As Prabhupada was, a liberated, pure devotee, so when he preaches, he is actually attacking Maya. When we are preaching, we are dovetailing so that we come out of Maya. So that is stage one. We are engaging in Krishna's service to be out of Maya. And when we are completely out of Maya, then we can powerfully preach. Because less botheration, our senses don't bother us, our minds don't bother us. Senses and mind is the biggest enemy. Mental speculation is the biggest enemy. Takes away all our energy. Mental speculation saps our enthusiasm. So how to become free from the mind? That's why all this, if you chant nicely Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have so much confidence in our mind. We have so much confidence in our petty intelligence. Everything we need certification. Even to chant Hare Krishna, I need my mind to certify. What is this? We first give priority to the mind. Oh, my mind is not telling to chant now. I'll chant later. Mind has to tell, chant now. Okay, now chant now. Why don't we say, Prabhupada said, chant Brahma Murta, chant now. No question, mind should follow what Prabhupada said. So, we should put Prabhupada's instructions, Prabhupada's intelligence, Prabhupada's direction above our mind and our intelligence. If we depend upon our mind, our intelligence, our power is always limited to preach. So first we have to cure ourselves. Simultaneously we preach Krishna consciousness. So at the stage of curing ourselves, we should not, at the cost of curing ourselves, go out and preach. That is important. We have to balance. Therefore, Prabhupada gave us this program, balancing your sadhana, balancing your preaching. So therefore, strictly the devotees follow the sadhana. Not only sadhana, even their thinking, even their ambitions, preaching ambitions. I have to do this for Prabhupada, that for Prabhupada. They understand that Prabhupada will allow me to do everything, provided I become pure. So let me engage myself in activities first to purify myself, and then Prabhupada will empower us. Till then, let me learn how to be Dasa. You see, when we We have so many big programs. Let's do this, let's do that, and so many ideas come as part of the war against Maya. Let's do this, that project, this project, so many things, right, comes in our mind. And Krishna and Prabhupada is seeing in a different way. They are saying this devotee is forgetting his first project is how to become Dasa. To develop this Dasa. Let him develop Dasatva. Let him develop humility. I will give the whole world in his hand. This is the attitude of Prabhupada and Krishna, Guru and Krishna. So we should understand the heart and mind of Guru and Krishna. What is that? It is very hard to come out of this ahankara. We should struggle hard, associate more and more with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, get purification and develop this Dasatva. That is the sum and substance. If Dasatva, humility is developed, non-doership is developed, automatically you will see that Krishna will empower. So it's our stage. We have to go through all that, we have to remain, we have to practice that. So most important project, the priority should be very, very clear. My spiritual life, my removing, associating with the holy name, this is all first step. Krishna will appreciate. That is not selfishness. Because if you become a very proper soldier, then Krishna can, you can do. Let's say you work 10, 15 years hard, very serious sadhana and developing Dasatva. And then in the next 10 years, you can do what in 100 years you cannot do. Because Krishna will empower you. So instead of the first 15 years, just an example, first 15 years focusing on this sadhana, nothing, then you think I have to do big things. You think like that, then after then another 10 years goes away, to 25 years you have not achieved anything. Whereas on the other hand, 15 years, if you have put your stress on sadhana, if you stress on purification, self-purification, goal is this, and then you'll see, you set a foundation for yourself, next 10 years, bloom, explosion. Prabhupada and Krishna will empower you. So this is the way they are thinking. Otherwise, Prabhupada and Krishna will think, if he has not had a good sadhana, he doesn't understand the principles of bhakti, if he does something big, he himself will go into Maya. So it is war against Maya. At least I have got one living entity. Now if prematurely he goes and trying to do big things in the material world to attack Maya, Maya will suck him also. So war against Maya, we have to be very careful. We have to know our limitations as soldiers. Sometimes we have to stand inside the fort and fight. Strategically we have to fight. We cannot open our chest out and go into Maya. Come on. You have to have big astras if you want that kind of a soldier. You want to go out and fight. So very carefully balance karmi association, devotee association, we balance it and we keep forward. Be patient. Krishna is very happy if few devotees become Krishna conscious. If there is war declared against Maya in this 6 acres, in this 5 acres, Krishna is very happy first. Declare war against Maya within this there shall be no Maya. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।